The following video falls squarely in the category of not photography related. But in the course of watching my photography on location videos, you may have noticed this super fancy bed platform, which when I'm solo camping, allows me to sleep in the back of my 4Runner here while maintaining gear and supplies underneath. I've actually had a lot of people ask me about this bed platform, so I figured I'd throw together this video showing you how I made it, and maybe you can make your own. Now, this is in the back of my 2016 4Runner Trail Premium Edition. So the measurements I give here should apply perfectly to, I think, every 5th gen 4Runner. But even if you don't have a 4Runner, the design is so simple in concept that I think you'd be able to adapt it to just about any car. It's basically just plywood held up by structural steel pipes with some reinforcement given to the platform through some 1x4 poplar boards. It's a pretty simple concept, and it's wrapped in a indoor-outdoor rug that you can pick up at pretty much any hardware store. Now, as we go through it, I'll be giving some more details on the exact supplies, but let's start with the plywood. So it's 3/4 inch plywood. Plywood typically comes in 4 foot by 8 foot sheets. I kept the 4 foot wide dimension, but I ended up cutting down the length. Now, I wanted this to fit into the car in 2 pieces, and that was for a few reasons. One, it makes it easier to put into the car, take in and out. Makes it easier to store in the garage. But finally, by breaking it up into 2 separate pieces, I was able to cut this rear piece to fit perfectly into the trunk so that I could actually remove the front piece completely, fold the seats back up, and then I just have a nice cargo shelf in my trunk. Now the 3/4 inch plywood, so I'll give you the dimensions to what I cut it down to. Starting with a 4 foot by 8 foot board, I made the first cut at 36 inches, then a second cut at 33 inches after that, giving me 2 pieces at 48 by 36 inches and 48 by 33 inches. On the 33 inch long piece, I cut in from the side at 18 inches. This small scrap piece is removed so you have a place to swing your legs down when getting in and out of bed. It's also a great place to store my Dometic CFF35 fridge or a cooler during the day. Now, I kept this scrap of 18 by 33 inch wood, wrapped it in the rug material, and then screwed a piece of 1x4 board measuring 25 3/4 inch long on one side of it so as to create a lip. This gives me an insert I can use to fill that gap in the event I need a full-length shelf. This has really come in handy when I do art festivals because it essentially gives me 2 large shelves upon which to lay artwork. By the way, if you don't have a table saw to make all these cuts, Home Depot will make the cuts for you for free when you buy the plywood. In order for the rear section of the platform to clear the tailgate, I had to notch in the corners. To do that, I measured 10 inches in from the edge and 4 inches down from the edge, then connected those 2 points to find my cut line. The 2 platform pieces are reinforced with 1x4 boards running edge to edge. I used poplar, but pine should work okay too. Each board measures 47 3/4 inches long and are placed just inside the edge of the plywood, with the exception of the board at the very back of the platform, which is inset 5 inches from the edge. I also added 2 square blocks here and here to give me more surface area to mount the pipe fitting. All of these wood boards are screwed into the plywood using number 12, 1 1/4 inch long countersunk wood screws after being wrapped in the rug material. Now, the plywood is wrapped in this indoor-outdoor rug that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot. They're super cheap. They're only like 25 bucks, and they fit the bill perfectly because they're weather resistant, so if you spill something on this, it's no big deal. And they're soft without being too soft. They're still quite tough to stand up to the rigors of camping. That I just wrapped around the board and stapled to the other side. I also painted the underside black and all the boards black just to give it a little bit cleaner look, but of course that part isn't absolutely necessary. And to make life easier in the field, I installed some LED puck lights underneath. These things are great. They install super easy, just with a single screw. They're powered by a few AA's, and they're really awesome because they can be turned on in 2 different ways. You can simply touch them to activate the switch, or use the wireless remote, which not only lets you turn them on and off, but you can adjust the dimmer and a sleep timer. The platform is held up by these structural pipes, which are not actual irrigation pipes or plumbing pipes. They're structural pipes that I found at Lowe's. Couldn't find them at Home Depot, by the way. It's 3/4 inch pipe made by Steel Tech, and I had to cut them to length using a pipe cutter. That was actually probably the most difficult part of the entire process. That's one of those tools where you tighten it a bit, rotate the pipe to score it, tighten it more, rotate it more to score it, tighten it more, rotate it, and eventually it makes a clean break. but 8 pipes in all. That's what I had to cut down. The 4 shortest ones support the center of the bed platform, 2 longer ones supporting the back of the bed platform, and 2 really long ones supporting the front of the bed platform. I also capped the bottom of every one of these pipes with 1-inch black rubber furniture leg tips, which can also be found at Home Depot. Now, if you cut one of these pipes a little too short, don't worry, you don't need to recut it. Just put a little wooden dowel in there to give it some height, and you can fine-tune the heights perfectly that way. Now, the pipes fit to the plywood with these great mounts that Steel Tech makes. They have a variety of them. I used 6 of the round mounts and then 2 of the flatter mounts for the back end. I used those different mounts on the back end because I needed to kick the pipes out a little bit wider to clear the tray in the back of my 4Runner. Those rear mounts, by the way, were placed just about 1/8 of an inch inside the edge of the poplar board. These needed to be as far out towards the edge of the platform as possible in order to clear the cargo tray. Still on the rear section of the platform, I attached the round pipe mounts 5 3/4 inch in from the edge, measuring from the edge of the support plank to the center of the pipe mount. On the forward section of the platform, I attached the mounts 3 1/4 inch in from the edge here and 6 3/4 inch in from the edge here, again measuring from the edge of the support planks to the center of the pipe mount. All of the pipes are secured into the mounts with a pressure screw that's adjusted using a 1/4 inch Allen wrench. Install is quite easy. I first remove the headrests and fold down the rear seats. Next, I attach 2 of the 12-inch pipes to the forward mounts of the rear platform and gingerly feed it into the trunk. Then, the 14 3/4 inch pipes go into the rearmost mounts. This levels out the rear platform and will make sliding in the front platform much easier. Before putting in the front platform, I lay down the remaining 12-inch pipes in the cargo area. Being careful not to ding the paint or windows, I feed the front platform into the car and slide it forward. Then it's just a matter of mounting the central support pipes and the foremost pipes. These forward pipes are, of course, the remaining 23-inch lengths of pipe. They feed between the folded down seats all the way to the floor. And just like that, the bed platform's installed. It's real easy to go in and out. Now, if you're going to be doing any degree of off-roading, the car's going to be bouncing around a lot, and you want to prevent this from jostling too much, you can install D-rings on the support beams under the bed platform, and then get some turnbuckles along with a carabiner or 2 and secure it down to the cargo holds in the back of the truck. That gives a real sturdy platform, and I haven't had this thing move one bit once I get those turnbuckles all dialed in. Now, the mattress itself is just memory foam. It's actually a memory foam topper meant for a regular mattress. You just get that at Bed Bath & Beyond or something. And then I cut it down to 34 inches wide by 70 inches long. And I just roll it up real tight and store it in a Army surplus duffel bag when I'm not using it. And it's pretty comfortable, but to be honest, I like to have a little more padding underneath. So I often put a real thin backpacking mattress, the air mattress, underneath to give me a little more padding. And you know what? If you want to know the kind of attention to detail I have, the kind of mind I'm working with here, I actually notched out the mattress to follow the curve of the car, baby. So it fits in real nice and it's not bunched up against this back corner here. But even more so than that, attention to detail, keep in mind that when I roll this thing up and then put it away, and then when I go camping again and I roll it back out, the foot has now rotated to become the head. Every time I roll it up and put it away and then roll it back out, the foot rotates to the head and it's always doing that. So not only did I notch out the head, I notched out the foot on the opposite corner so that whatever direction I unroll it, it's always following the curve of the car here. Yeah, I'm pretty great. So you may be wondering, how do I get ventilation in here when I'm sleeping? I made these mesh sleeves to go over the doors. I just bought some no-seam mesh off of Amazon, cut it down to fit around the door, and then sewed the edges. So it made kind of a sleeve, almost like a pita pocket. And it goes over the door, I close the door, and then I can roll the windows down, and then all there is between me and the world is some no-seam mesh. I also cut one for the tailgate here, because I can actually roll the window down on my SUV here, and then I get a second point of ventilation. If you're not comfortable cutting no-seam mesh and sewing it together and all that kind of stuff, there's companies that make this stuff. I think one of them is called like Skeeter Beater or something cute like that. And they make mesh to go over your car doors in case you want ventilation. So there you go. Pretty simple design. Not too expensive, not too difficult to make. Oh, one final thing. A lot of people have asked me about this tray because this is real convenient. This is not aftermarket. This actually came with the truck. So my Trail Premium Edition, this was one of the features, and happens to be like my favorite feature of the whole car. Love this tray. All right, so there you have it. DIY bed platform. If you found this video useful and you want to throw me a few shekels, I wouldn't stop you. Just visit nickcarverphoto.com/contribute. But either way, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.